This is IGN. Exhibit A+. This is your IGN review of 2 Point Museum by Liana Hafer. After the past few years of hit-and-miss business sims, I had convinced myself that the real heyday of tycoon games was back in the 90s, but 2 Point Museum may have finally changed my mind. It's not a huge revolutionary departure from 2 Point Studios' recent run of quirky games, Hospital and Campus, but this time they finally perfected the recipe. With its varied and challenging management layer, tons of cool props and exhibits to unlock, and a refreshingly dry sense of humor, I sometimes had a hard time dragging myself away from it. The thing that impresses me most about 2 Point Museum compared to other recent games like Planet Coaster 2 is that it actually seems interested in challenging you to manage the finances of your operation as you're building and decorating it. And maybe I'm a nerd, but that's at least half the reason I like these kind of games. It's actually difficult to build a money printer that you can simply walk away from, but also not so punishing that I frequently got myself into big trouble that I couldn't wiggle my way out of. The balance, when it comes to juggling my balance sheets, feels just about balanced. Whether I'm setting up a new exhibit or decorating the employee break room, everything is done in 2 Point's whimsical, cartoony, and almost claymation-like style. I might be displaying a fossil of a floppy disk or artifacts from a planet inhabited by cheese-loving aliens, but Museum leans into it all. Admittedly, I've never been particularly charmed by this shtick in previous 2 Point games, and I'm still not, but at least it's distinct and consistent. And the PA announcements are often actually quite funny. Bored guests are reminded that not everything has to be a party, okay? Changing the focus from running a school or hospital to a museum does 2 Point a lot of favors, though. When my goal is to impress my guests using elaborate displays, lots of little decorations, and floor plans that make sure they have to exit through the gift shop, I find myself zooming way down and paying a lot of attention to how everything might look at eye level. On one of my favorite maps, I got to design a haunted house experience complete with cursed artifacts and, eventually, actual ghosts who can break out and cause mayhem if they don't get their weekly therapy appointment. So yeah, simulation is used a bit loosely here, and 2 Point is all too happy to embrace goofiness over reality. It works. The only major part of the 2 Point Museum formula I didn't love was dealing with crime. As your museum becomes more prestigious and displays higher value items, it will increasingly be targeted by thieves and vandals who can really ruin your day, up to and including stealing entire attractions that may have taken hours to acquire and level up. Hiring more security guards and having one permanently posted up at each entrance is usually enough to deter most evildoers. You can at least turn crime off in the sandbox mode, which features a lot of other difficulty customizations as well. The game is all set to a chill, vibey soundtrack that keeps me in the zone and jamming. It can vary from one map to the next, but it's always low-key, soothing, and upbeat. 2 Point Museum is a rewarding, deep, challenging, and highly entertaining tycoon game that demonstrates 2 Point Studios has really hit its groove with this third iteration of the idea. The variety of different exhibits to unlock and level up, the thrill of discovering new expedition maps, and the array of clever and easy-to-use management tools make designing and running a museum joyful and consistently rewarding. I've sunk more than 40 hours into it already, and I could easily see doubling that without running out of stuff to do. Call the curator, they're really going to want to take a look at this. 2 Point Museum's IGN score? 9 out of 10. Thanks for listening to IGN. My name is Tony Jackson, and for the latest 2 Point updates, visit us at IGN.com.
Spoken Layer.